Good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Abbott, and I will be your instructor for the next 8 weeks as we go into our Management 408 course on Organization Theory and Development. And it's going to be, I think, an interesting 8 weeks, one in which you're going to be challenged in many different ways. You're going to get an opportunity to look back at a lot of things that you've done already in your business education and literally start putting two and two together to really come to some conclusions as you near the end of your program. Many of you are in your junior and senior years, probably, this being a 400 level course. And just from the title of it, I think you can understand its importance. No matter what we do, we are likely to do it in some form of organization. And organizations are, many people can have some different conceptions of them right away. When we say that, usually we think of a large business, a large company, a large operation, a government department, a major corporation, something like that. But small business are organizations. Well, classes are organizations. Families are organizations. Clubs are organizations. Teams are organizations. Organizations are all around us. And we are members of more than we probably think we are. If you just sat down and took a quick inventory of how many organizations you belong to, you might actually astonish yourself a little bit. So I think it's important that we know how these groups function, why they do what they do, how they can do things differently, what are the obstacles to getting things done in organizations, and what ways can we use to make organizations more effective. And we will touch on all of these points in the course of the next 8 weeks. Okay? So I guess for me, it has always been a very interesting thing to do. I have been a consultant in the field of organizational design and development for 20 years. I've been in big businesses. I've been in small businesses. I've been on my own. I've been in higher education. I've been an athletic coach. I know what it's like to be parts of different types of organizations. And believe me, one of the things that I think you will notice is there are not many things that we can't apply our own experience to as we go through this course. So not only will I be doing that, I trust that you'll be doing that and sharing your experiences and applying what we learn and what we discuss right to your current situation. And it's going to be very interesting right now in the late spring here and going into the early summer of 2020 with in the middle of a pandemic. And you're seeing organizations respond and kind of almost move and change day to day. And in all related fields, and we suddenly start seeing that that our organizations are not separate from others. They move as part of an economy. They move as part of a society. They are part of what I will call an ecosystem of organizations, and it's important for us to understand how that happens. So, for some mechanical things about the course, a couple of things that you will note. It's fairly writing intensive. You'll be asked to write quite a bit and quite often. Maybe not super long. You're not going to write a doctoral dissertation, but you're going to write several shorter papers that are very important. And the whole idea of writing is definitely one that has tremendous significance to me, as does every form of communication. Why? Simply because a great idea, a great thought communicated poorly isn't so great, right? Because we can't get our ideas across. We can't bring other people to change their ways of thinking or maybe change our ways of thinking and articulate how we're doing that. Then really the whole process of thinking is lost if we can't communicate. So we will present things in written and in other forms. There will be one visual presentation you'll be asked to do. There are the discussions every week, and I would like to tell everyone that I do place an awful lot of emphasis on discussion, particularly in online learning. It's extremely important, and that's where I urge you to pay attention to the rubrics that accompany the discussions the ideas to think through the material that we're asking about. Really give it some thought, give it some time, all right? I've had some instances recently where we do have people trying to jam everything in on a Sunday evening and then wondering why they don't score so well. Well, by that time, I might be the only one left reading your discussions. That's not really participating in it. And I think the learning that can come from online discussion is tremendous as we learn from each other and help each other get through the material. So please, pay attention to the rubrics and what you need to do to have a successful discussion, and I think it's going to help everybody. All right? The other thing, too, is on the papers, there's a rubric for each paper. Make sure you read that and understand what you're being asked to do. I just, it pains me sometimes to see something very well written and then a major section is just totally left out. So that's little practical things, but they can certainly hurt you. And also be careful to read in the syllabus. It lets you know the grade weighting as to what is more important. And if you miss an assignment, let's say one thing I can tell you right off the top of my head: if you miss assignment 7, that's 30% of your grade. Don't miss it. Okay, that kind of thing. So it's very basic stuff there, but I really think the one thing I want to emphasize is please give this course the respect that it's due. What do I mean by that? This is a 400 level course. It is a senior level course. This is one where we do have certain levels of expectation that people will have exposed themselves to ideas of academic writing, to the ideas of academic standards, to the ideas of academic integrity. Please note that just like many of your other courses, everything you write in here, all the written assignments are just automatically submitted through the Safe Assign academic integrity system. And it's very important that you follow the principles of academic integrity, not just to be annoying and say, well, you must do this and must do that, or there's a form of discipline. No, it's a form of good writing that goes back to my earlier comments on communication. It helps you communicate well. It helps you develop your ideas. It helps you reinforce your ideas. Okay, so that is really something very important for us to all keep in mind. But this is, as I just said, it's a 400 level course. Treat it like that. I really hope that people will, and most people do. The other thing you're going to find is the course does go through a progression of subject matter. And you may find a little of it, maybe just it seems on the surface a little redundant, that, oh gee, didn't we ask a question just like that last week? Make sure you read the context. Make sure you look for the meaning and look at the rubric, and we will be emphasizing different things that week. So no, it's not that repetitive. It's repetitive to a degree by design in order to fully develop some concepts. So get yourself familiar with it this week. Look through the course, look through the material, and if you do have questions, please contact me. I'll be happy to answer them. All right, we have put together some material for you just to have an introductory discussion this week, but we will dive right in with a quick early discussion on some course material. You can read if you so choose. You can read my profile and find out what my background is, but also in that same profile, I let you know where I intend to be available for office hours. I really am very flexible in the summertime. Number one, I am retired from the full-time faculty at Post, so I no longer maintain an office on campus. So I do, unlike the rest of the world that just learned how to work from home over the last 6 weeks, I've been doing it for 2 years. So I'm here. I'm comfortable with it. Also, please let me know if there are any special circumstances going on. We recognize very, very, very readily that these are some very interesting times we're living in. It's a new experience for many of us, and things are just not normal. We really don't know what normal is anymore. So please, the big thing is maintain contact. My contact information is available for you, and I'm looking forward to having a great 8 weeks with you. Thank you very much.